Hello, how are you? My name is Ginna Moreno, and today I would like to share what I have been learned so far from this book, Reframing Organizations. The writers of this book is Lee G. Bowman and Terence E. Deal. We understand that organization has a purpose, has goals, and have some strategies to make that happen. We understand that organizations has a function, has a structure, so they can work on it and they can get successful in what they want. However, this book is sharing about like some stories that are not good, but we can learn from that. So one of the stories it was about Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo was a company that at some point they tried to force their employees to create fake accounts or to open accounts for customers that they even wanted. They were cheating in the students' loans. They were trying also to like overdraft or like doing over fees to the customers. Um, when they find out they were the situation that the employees feel a little pressure because they feel that they're gonna lose their job, so they didn't say anything. And another party, um, it was a case that some employee he complained about it, and later on he got fired because another reason. He just gave an excuse, but he got fired because of that. So the same situation happened with another company that called BW. BW created a software to keep the emissions test, and they came to this country with that software, and they thought that they didn't know about the law. They didn't know that this is against the law and it's illegal here. So the same thing happened with the employees. They feel pressure to talk about it. They feel pressure to share how they really feel and how they were treating inside the company. So we can see that Wells Fargo CEO John Staff and the CEO for BW, both of them, they were bigots, and people recognize them as a famous and important persons, but because of that they just became like a pointless in a society. On the other side, we have a really nice experience, and I think it's like most of the people know about who is Stephen Jobs. But something interesting that I learned from this book is I didn't know that he got fired from the same company that he created. So after he created Apple, he got fired for a reason, and he spent 11 years in another companies like Pixar and Next. Next wasn't successful at all, but Pixar made him billionaire. And after 11 years, Apple were like going down and down, so they called him back and offered a new opportunity for Stephen Jobs to join the Apple group. And during this time, the 11 years, he learned a lot. He opened his mind, and he understand the value and the importance of talent. But he also realized that it's not only about talent. You need like have some discipline, because if you have a talent but you don't have discipline, one day it's just gonna disappear. So he said that the better thing to do is like take that talent, make connections, relationships, and also create like a teamwork. So he started doing that in the company, and you know how Apple changed our lives, and nowadays we can still see that the importance of Apple and how they impact the technology around the world. So Stephen Jobs created the Apple, he created iPhone, iPad, and iMac, and those technologies are still growing up and develop our lives and help us in many ways. So that's the three first stories that the book shared with us, and it's really interesting. I like to learn from them. But what is the point? And we can start seeing that the writer in the book starts talking about how a strategy is important, how a structure is important. As a humans, we have structures in order that we can function well. For example, we have our bones, that is one structure. We have our nerves, our blood, and the muscles too. So it's the same thing for a company. But a structure cannot be the same all the time because time just change. So maybe a strategy that my grandparent used to do to create something is not like longer anymore. It's absolute that you don't need it because there is some extra technology that we have and there is other way to do it. So we can realize about that and we can tell like after coronavirus impact our society and we got locked down for a couple of months, many companies realized that they need, they should have a different ideas and different way to be like active because most of them got really affected, and many of them just changed, and that's the point that we want to make. Like situation change and structure and strategies have to change in a company in order to move with the flow of the economy or the situation that we are living. For example, there is always comparisons, in the business file because that's the way that you can learn. And we can tell how Target, in some point in the middle of the pandemic, they start doing more stuff for people, doing delivery through your door, and and bring just everything online. And another hand, we have maybe Walmart or CVS or all these companies that were still open, but they don't have those kind of services. So Target was one of the really highest stores in the middle of the pandemic. We can also see how today we have a different business like Airbnb, we have Uber, we have Lyft, we have even companies that they can bring you any service that you need, housekeeper, dog sitter, babysitter, or anything that you need. So people are just creating a lot of stuff. They are taking advantage of the technology, the internet, and learn from the situation that is around that is going on. Another point of the book is about how you have to improve your organization. Like you have to upgrading in management because you need to see another stuff. When we always have a problem, that's how the book say that when we have a problem, we always like have different kinds to solve that problem, but we always look for guilty. We always look like who I can blame. If you made a mistake, so you blame maybe the employee, and if it's something up, so you blame the manager or the boss or the CEO, right? So we always try to blame someone, and or sometimes the manager or the CEO, they're just thinking about that there is only one way to do it and there is no other way to do it, and they don't listen to other people, and they just became like really strict in their structure. So a structure is good, but we also need to see like what is around. So that's why these authors, they create like a frame that like take many things, not only like what is going inside the company, also what is going outside the company, what is going on in our employees, what they have, psychology, culture, and customs that they have, traditional things, what they believe. So they know about all of them, and they can create a better environment for them in the company. So that's why we need to ask our questions about the ability in them, what is the talent that they have, and they create and they understand that company it has to need a model, need a frame, and that model always has to change, and it's like a process that the company need in order to see like what is going on around. And another frame is the political frame. So we know that we have different situations in our countries, and different factors that can impact a company. So they also talk about politicals. What is the law? What is the power? And how the politics or their like different system works around the world. We know that there is some countries that there are like capitalism, socialism, and communism, and it's different strategies that you have to create depends where you are. For example, a really good example that I always have for this this frame is McDonald's. I have McDonald's in my country, and it is like a lot of way different from here. Why? Because they really take advantage of the products that are in my country, the things that my people like. So maybe I'm not gonna find the same products here. The French fries is the same around the world. It's just amazing. McFlurry and like most of the stuff is still the same, but they also have customized some products depends of the country, and it is not something about my country. I made an investigation, and it's like around the world. They always do different stuff. Depends of the culture. So, for example, if a company is success here in the United States, like a Burger King or Wendy's, but maybe the same structure, the same strategies, if they put in another country, it has to be changed because it's a different situation, it's a different frame and different environment. So that's a really good point that we can think about it in order to understand better this point. So he also talked about reframing. So we have to ask the question about like how we can change that, we can broke that change of the being in one point, in one side, only for the CEO, also for the employees, and how like everything around in the company. So I hope you like this video, and thank you so much.